For the most part, I do my best to orientate singers to a healthy, sustainable tone that is clean and balanced. But what do you do if you want to add rasp and grit to your voice for those genres requiring heavier vocals? I hope you'll stick around because today we're learning all about the distorted voice.
Sound check. Check 1, check 2.
G'day everyone, my name is Dr. Dan and I'm a contemporary singing voice specialist. Welcome to Voice Essentials, where everybody sings. And many singers here in the Voice Essentials community love to sing the heavier genres like metal and screamo. So today we'll be looking at distorted voice, what many people call raspy voice. The distorted voice is still a relatively under-researched area of vocal production. Now, that's not to say that no one has investigated, it's just that until recently, distorted voice was considered a highly damaging practice and was therefore shunned by many people in the singing teaching community. Now, before we dive into an exercise, it's crucial that we create some safety parameters for today's topic. Firstly, despite this area of voice use now gaining acceptance among the voice teaching fraternity, there is no doubt, in my mind at least, that the practice of vocal distortion is a high-cost item on the menu of vocal effects. The exercise we'll be doing together in a moment is taken from my friend and colleagues Dr. Daniel Zanger-Borsch's book Ultimate Vocal Voyage. Daniel writes, some singers, particularly women, have trouble producing a distorted tone and others get a sore throat when trying. If this happens, you should stop, rest your voice, and try again later. This is a critical warning because when we try this vocal quality at home, away from the guidance of a singing teacher, we run the ever-present risk of driving the voice too hard, which can result in wear and tear. The second note of caution comes from Matthew Edwards in his book So You Want to Sing Rock and Roll. Matthew advises us that singers need to know that much of what is presented on YouTube about this type of singing, intentional vocal distortion, is not only misinformed but also possibly dangerous. This is a warning for me as much as it is for you. I certainly don't want to add to the plethora of poor instruction on this topic, so let's both proceed with a caution and a humility that allows for the understanding that no one knows everything. And finally, before we look at the exercise together, you're probably going to hear when I do the activity that my voice doesn't naturally lean towards vocal distortion. As many of you know, my preferred genre is adult contemporary, which typically uses a balanced, cleaner sound, even in the heavier belted times. And this is an important thing to note because you too might find that the activity doesn't sit well with you and your voice. That's okay. And while I don't have any research to back this next statement up, anecdotally, I have observed that some voices embrace the sensations of vocal distortion quite easily, while other voices find it rather physically disturbing to produce. I guess the key takeaway as we get ready to do a vocal distortion activity together is if it hurts, stop. Don't try to proceed any further until you can work alongside someone who is qualified to guide your vocal development. With all of that being said, let's do a vocal distortion exercise together now.
Sound check.
Again, this exercise is taken from the book Ultimate Vocal Voyage by Dr. Daniel Zanger-Borsch and requires an energized body. So while I'm sitting down for the video, I encourage you to stand up when attempting the activity for the first time. Firstly, start by placing the tip of your tongue in behind your bottom front teeth and widen your mouth with a smile. Now, raise the sides of the back of your tongue up against your upper canine teeth. Once you've got the vocal tract position in place, try creating an extended A sound. Have a listen. Hey, hey. I'm producing my note on an A3. For me, this note sits comfortably in the middle of my lower register. You'll probably find that starting on a different note helps you to get going. If you're able to produce the distorted sound in a relatively balanced manner, try stepping it up in semitone steps. Hey, hey, hey. It's important that I stress, even if you're able to produce the distorted quality, only practice the sound for short periods of time and always stop if you feel any type of discomfort. And one final thing before you finish today's video, much of what we hear in the heavier genres, especially at the pro vocal end of town, is simply clever smoke and mirrors. It's an industry practice to use digital voice processors to artificially add distortion to the voice, much like a guitarist adds distortion to their instrument with a distortion pedal. So don't be fooled into thinking that your favourite death metal singer, for example, is producing distorted voice effects entirely with their organic instrument. He or she is almost certainly enhancing their performance digitally. If you're searching for more information about this topic, then I'd advise you to visit melissacross.com. Melissa is a highly regarded voice pedagogue specialising in the heavier genres, and her work, The Zen of Scream, goes into the subject in more depth. I'll be keen to hear about your experience with distorted voice. Leave me any comments below so that we can all gain from your experience. And if this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, thanks for tuning in. I add new videos each and every week, and I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. I'll hopefully see you again soon. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.